There's a moment in every close NBA game come the final minutes when the atmosphere gets tense. The noise of the crowd becomes sharper, more urgent. Players' movements grow more deliberate, every dribble weighted with consequence. This is the point where reputations are forged and legacies are defined. The clutch moments that separate the good from the truly great. But what does it really mean to be clutch in today's NBA? Is it simply about making shots when the clock is winding down, or is there something more nuanced at work?
Before they had Williams on him.
The former teammates. Brunson fires for three.
Brunson still gets into the paint.
Oh my God.
Floater's good. We're tied at 119.
Brunson drives on Williams, pulls back, jump shot, puts it in. Knicks back up by 2. Timeout Chicago.
The league defines clutch as the final 5 minutes of a game within a 5-point margin, but the story goes far beyond that simple metric. True clutch performance is about consistency under pressure, about making the right read when defenses are locked in, about elevating your game when the stakes are the highest. And in 2025, a handful of players have separated themselves from the pack by doing exactly that. First up, we have Jalen Brunson, who obviously just won Clutch Player of the Year. What makes Brunson's clutch performance so remarkable isn't just the numbers, though they are staggering, but how he achieves them. At first glance, a 6'1" guard shooting 65.8% in clutch situations seems impossible. Defenses know exactly what's coming. They throw their best defenders at him, and yet Brunson continues to dissect them with almost clinical precision. His game slows down when others speed up, his footwork becoming even more meticulous as the pressure mounts. The Knicks' 11-3 record in games decided by 5 or fewer points isn't accidental. It's the result of Brunson's ability to read defenses in real time, to exploit the smallest gaps with that subtle push-off that creates just enough space for his pull-up jumper. It's not random that Brunson ranks first for clutch points per game and clutch field goals, and when the game is truly on the line, he's been automatic. 11 for 11 on clutch free throws in the final 24 seconds, good for second most in the league. There's a reason he was the betting favorite for Clutch Player of the Year, and it's not just that New York bias. It's that the Knicks live and die on Brunson clutch finishes. With Cat often in foul trouble, Brunson basically has to be the go-to guy in the clutch. And it's been working out so far. Coming in at second is, unsurprisingly, Nikola Jokic. Jokic is probably the most fascinating example in clutch performance. In an era where isolation scoring dominates late-game situations, the two-time MVP rewrites the script entirely. His 55% shooting in the clutch is impressive enough for a center, but it's the other numbers that truly tell the story. He averages 7 rebounds and 3 assists in the last 5 minutes of what's considered a clutch game. We've all seen when Jokic gets a game-winning tip-in. It's never some lucky bounce. Jokic is just genuinely one of the smartest players in the entire NBA, with his basketball IQ literally off the charts even for NBA players. The game moves at his pace, regardless of the score or the clock, and that unshakable demeanor is why Denver always feels like they have a chance. Coming in at third on the list is Anthony Edwards. Edwards' emergence as a clutch performer has been one of the season's most compelling narratives. His 157 clutch points lead the league, but the numbers only tell part of the story. When Edwards operates in these moments, the way he demands the ball, the absolute certainty in which he attacks with, the sheer audacity of some of his makes, it makes him one of the most exciting to watch in these moments, and I'm sure one of the biggest nightmares to guard in the entire league. Edwards has taken the mantle of Minnesota's closer and run with it, improving his decision-making dramatically from last season while maintaining that fearless approach that makes him so special. His 42% usage rate in clutch situations is the highest of any player on this list, and he's still shooting 52% in these moments. Defenses throw everything at him, doubles, traps, their best defenders, and it simply doesn't matter. When Minnesota needs a bucket, Edwards delivers, often in the most spectacular way possible. Next up, Trae Young, who I think is really slept on in these discussions. Trae's clutch credentials present a bit of a paradox. On one hand, his numbers are undeniable. 2 buzzer beaters this season, which is tied for most in the league, 140 clutch points, which is 3rd overall. Yet, on the other hand, he hasn't even been close to a favorite for the award a single time in his entire career somehow. What brings Trae up to nearly the top of this list is that his approach has changed this season. The reckless 30-footers that defined his early career have given way to a more measured, calculated approach. He's weaving into the mid-range more frequently, using his floater, drawing contact the right way, and yet, despite the improved efficiency and highlight moments, the respect still lags behind the production. Nobody seems to care about Trae Young for some reason. Of course, the Hawks have been a bit of a dumpster fire for the last few years, but let's not forget that Trae brought the Hawks to the conference finals without any other All-Stars back in 2021, and he's still got a long career to show off many more clutch moments. Here's a quick one that you might not expect. Tyrese Maxey. In a league that increasingly values the three-point shot, Maxey's clutch superpower is pretty funny in its simplicity. Get to the line. His 17 of 18 performance from the stripe in clutch situations, including a perfect 8 for 8 in the final 10 seconds, speaks to both his composure and his understanding of how to leverage his skills in high-pressure moments. In an era obsessed with hero ball threes, Maxey's willingness to take the boring points is a refreshing reminder that efficiency often trumps flash when the game is on the line. Now we get to the honorable mentions. Of course, no discussion of clutch performance would be complete without acknowledging those who just missed the cut. DeMar DeRozan continues to be automatic from mid-range in late-game situations, but his 0 for 5 mark on potential game winners this season keeps him out of the top tier. Steph Curry's gravitational pull still warps defenses, but his 39% shooting in these moments represents a slight dip from his peak. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for all his brilliance, has been oddly reluctant to take the big 3 in clutch situations, shooting just 28% from deep when the game is on the line. What ultimately ties these players together isn't just their talent, but their temperament. The best clutch performers aren't necessarily the most skilled players in the league, they're the ones who want the pressure, who thrive when others shrink from it. Brunson's precision, Jokic's IQ, Edwards' fearlessness, Young's adaptability, Maxey's poise, they're all variations on the same theme. The ability to stay wholly, relentlessly themselves when the game hangs in the balance. And perhaps that's the real magic of clutch performance. It's not about making the spectacular play every time. It's about making the right play, the winning play, regardless of the defensive attention or the scoreboard or the clock. It's about having the courage to fail and the confidence to succeed. As we head into the playoffs, these are the players who will decide championships, who will have their moments replayed for years to come. Because in the NBA, legends aren't made in the first quarter. They're made when the pressure is highest and the stakes are the greatest. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe. We appreciate absolutely everything, and we'll see you next week.